LA and Hollywood hog a lot of the cultural spotlight in Southern California, but just south of the 110 lies a small town that's played a big role in rock history.
Pedro is a mixture of things. The town has some rough spots. The town has a lot of parks. The town is at the end of the freeway, so you don't drive through it. So you have cliffs and docks. But Pedro still has retained some of this thing, like it's almost its own town. Right. Even though we've been part of Los Angeles since, I don't know, 1911, 1913. Any town, any kind of geography becomes kind of a thermos, which is not always a bad thing, because you can incubate.
San Pedro has harbored a string of iconic punk rock groups since the late 1970s. But is that local momentum still relevant in today's music industry?
I've been around different generations of punk, you know. It kind of goes up and down. And it's always been like that, you know. It does seem like it's going down right now. I think to a lot of people it's just a phase, you know. They get into it and they get out of it. You know, some people got married and had kids and kind of stopped hanging out, stopped playing shows and stuff.
Sandy Shanty Cheryl has photographed music in San Pedro since the 1990s.
A lot of sad changes in the way of we don't really have punk houses anymore that are playing shows, which that was kind of when it started to inspire me, was taking photos of those and documenting just the, I guess I felt more inspired when I was at houses, just because it was all ages and different types of people, and just the atmosphere was just more inspiring to me than it is at bars.
If you're talking specifically San Pedro, there's no way in my mind that it's dying. Like it's definitely getting better and better every day.
Those determined to survive have found new ways to support themselves. Recess Records reported that their profits are driven by vinyl records, with CD sales outstripped by a margin of 25 to 1. Even cassettes sell better than CDs.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because we talk about it all the time nowadays, as opposed to before it was always just like, it's dead, and we didn't even think about it. But then now it just seems like there's some glue involved, and
there's not a lot of bucks in it. It's not about a service and a lifestyle. Pedro music people get into music for the music. It's so accessible now, so much different, but does not solve the I don't know, problem of being creative, so, which I hope never gets solved. It's not Pedro by itself. It's guys living in Pedro that didn't really fit in too well, that wanted to do music, and I think it'll go through its trips, its cycles, but I don't think it's headed for, I could be wrong though, you never know.
Yeah. But
remember, that's a big difference about the old days. It's much more econo. Everybody can make music. It's a really neat kind of thing. There's still a huge gap. You got the doers and then the passive potatoes. And there's still a gap like you would find in Orange County or the Valley, and that's, or Inland Empire. That's funny when people get all provincial about, no, there's a pretty passive chunk here. And I think that makes it tough for Pedro guys. But in some ways, that's a good thing.
For the Annenberg School of Communication and Journalism at USC, this is Graham Clark.